In this video, I just wanted to answer the question, what I feel are good times to trade. The best time to trade is when there's at least two markets open. If you have the Japanese market and the Australian market open, yes, there's a little bit of movement around that time. But then you have the European and London markets open, and then they overlap the U.S. market. So there's a period of time where you have three markets open. So illustrated on the charts here, between the blue lines, I have illustrated about 3 or 4 hours where the European market's moving, where it opens and it goes for 3 or 4 hours and it continues on down. But then I've marked where the U.S. session or market opens and goes for 3 or 4 hours. So just as an idea, this is all history, but the point is, share with you where the market moves the most is when you have the markets open, because when the markets are open, generally there's news taking place. Now, we don't trade the news. We trade around the time of the news. That's my opinion, the way of doing it. I like to use indicators. Okay, now we're just going to look at both the European and the U.S. markets on a couple of currency pairs. This happens to be the pound dollar, and you can see it didn't move much during the European session and didn't move much in either session. Right here it moved great in both sessions, not the European, good to the U.S., and not so much on the either sessions on that day. So these are different days in between these dotted vertical lines. You see it moved well there, only good on the U.S. session, and neither one of them moves. So sometimes it's European session that the markets move, the currencies move, and other times it's the U.S. session. Here's a time where they both moved well. The European moved well, the U.S. didn't. Neither one of them moved well over here. So you can get a chance to see that that's what happens when the market moves. Now, if you're doing any of these market sessions, I would say you at least get in about when the market opens. When the market has been open for about a half an hour, generally that's when the news starts. So you can go to Forex Factory and look at their news calendar. You can see when the news is going to be broadcast and coming out. So that's when the market's moving. So if you get there as the market opened, for example, in the U.S. session, it'd be 8 Eastern, or that's 13 GMT. In the European session, usually it's about 3 GMT, and that possibly is going to be in the morning. I'm guessing around 8 o'clock. I may be off on that one a little bit. Get there a half an hour before the news happens. You can check that even the day before. Kind of look at, see some currency pairs, check, see what's moving, and then wait and get your setups on your trades and get in. You can get 2 to 3 hours of sitting there watching it, or you can get your trade set up and then leave and get your stops and let your trade move. Depends on your trading style and what kind of system you're using. Hope this sheds some light on the times that you can trade, and maybe we'll talk to you another time.